Good morning, evening, and afternoon, and welcome to part 15 of 9, episode 2, Sora iro sora uta sora no oto. Last episode was interesting that, well, firstly, we were able to step away for a bit from Haruka's little episode, I guess you could say. And now we are kind of in an important situation. So during the last episode, we had spoke to Yoichi, and Yoichi apparently had contacted Takamine, Commander. And apparently Yoichi had lied to Commander and saying that he himself is also a user. So apparently they want to meet with one another in today's time, or I should say today in this day at 8 o'clock at night at the shrine, which is interesting. There's a few things that are gonna happen, I'm sure. One of the highly possible situations I feel like is gonna happen is Yoichi being turned to stone as a warning, and Sophie, who is apparently going to be watching them, found some information about Ghost at the cost of Yoichi. The reason why I think Yoichi's gonna die is because I just don't see this happening, this all peacefully and all going well, I guess you could say. Because things that would go well would be Yoichi gets accepted by them. Don't know how he's going to prove himself. Because obviously for them to join their ranks, I'm sure they would want to see his power. So secondly, a good thing would be to find more about Ghost. But I don't know if we'll find anything about her in this playthrough. Other than that, we noticed that there has been some closer connection between Kakiro and Sora. Obviously, just saying what you want or not meaning what you mean, but obviously you can tell there's slowly getting closer. And that's just minor things here and there, but nothing really to really recap on, I guess you could say. So I guess let's carry on, shall we? It's the morning of the next day. Since we've got nothing else to do, we're once again poring over the documents Naruse Sensei gave us. Sadly, even after scrutinizing all of them, we haven't learned a thing about the Evil Eye's weakness, or about how to deal with its powers. But while we didn't find what we were looking for, the documents themselves were pretty interesting to read through. Thanks to the scraps Sophie has fed us, we're able to fill in the blanks where Sensei seemed confused about events or consistency. The legendary Iris who saved Shiro Mitsugawa centuries ago really did exist, and she must still be alive. I think so as well because of the way Sophie was acting. It's also likely she was the original owner of the Evil Eye. My guess is that something caused her to lose possession of it, and hundreds of years later it made its way back to Earth. From that, we can infer that there are ways to nullify the contract between an artifact and its user. We do, but obviously not in this timeline. But then if Iris did lose it, and she's not dead, they obviously kind of made her seem dead to lose the contract, in a sense. Naruse Sensei concluded that Iris came to be worshipped as a snake god because, at the time, the indigenous people worshipped snakes. Apparently, Shiro Mitsugawa's original residences believed snakes had the power to control water. Considering that similar spirit worship is prevalent all across Japan, that would make sense. Hence why Iris, a resident of another world who possessed superpowers, became the Great White Serpent. The land on which the shrine was built was previously a sacred site. Once upon a time, the story goes, people who wandered into that area were whisked away to the underworld, never to return. Huh, interesting. That can easily be inferred to as them being taken to the other world where Sophie's world is. According to Notice's census documents, people often did go missing from this particular area, so she suspects rumors started as means of keeping folks away from danger. However, I think there's a different reason. Yeah. My guess is this is where it's easiest to link our world and Sophie's. Which is why when disaster struck centuries ago, Iris gave Census ancestors the sacred relic as a way of keeping the gate firmly closed and preventing any future problems. The relic succeeded in keeping the world separate, but now that it's broken, they're linked again. I guess history is doomed to repeat itself. To be honest, while I've been going with the flow and just accepting things as they happen, my logical side has been a little skeptical about whether any of this is real. Probably because my own powers haven't manifested themselves. But after reading through these historical records, my lingering doubts have vanished. That said, knowing that this isn't all some grand hallucination won't bring me any closer to solving the case. Rubbing my tired eyes, I dropped a stack of documents onto the table. Sora, sitting across from me, is staring intently into her cup. What's on your mind? You've been gazing into your cup for the last 5 minutes.
練習というか実験というか訓練というか
Kind of similar to what we did with Kujo, maybe? You mean with your ability?
そうそう
She lifts up her cup a little. With her free hand, she takes out her phone and puts it next to the cup. She then pulls my glass and phone, which are sitting on the table, over to her. Folding her arms, she glares down at the 2 cups and phones.
やっぱ4つになると実用的じゃないっぽいな
You can use it on multiple things? I think this was mentioned last playthrough. At the end of episode 1, where we were told we used it and then we were told that it was less useful on multiple people.
できるっちゃできるってぐらいでも効果が薄くなるね
So they're being told in this playthrough at this time. You're not using your power on yourself right now.
うん使ってないよ
Huh? You're always using it on yourself, so I thought it only worked on you.
はあ対象は自由だよ視界に入ってる人か物なら何でもいける感じ
Anything? Oh, I thought it was... Oh, obviously she was testing on objects, but... Interesting, I never thought of it being able to be used on objects. That'd be come in handy, actually. If Lana's... I didn't even read... Okay, it has to be Lana's side like Kujo's. Oh no, Kujo's isn't as long as she knows it. If Lana's side's the only restriction, can you use your power on someone far away as long as you can see them? Oh wow, okay. What's the distance? Oh well no, as he just said, as long as you can see them, so... Huh. It's stronger than Kujo's in one aspect. Huh. Well, that changes things. Your power actually seems pretty amazing.
って威張りたいけど射程が長くても実際問題使い道がない
Yeah, I don't know. It is pretty hard to really use it that way. Got a point there.
それに基本的に一つしか存在感の操作できないし。
And didn't you just say you could target more things a second ago? Yeah, I was just thinking that. Huh.
それが難しいところなんですよ。
They takes my glass, her cup, and the phones and spread them all across the table.
今私このマグカップの存在感を操作しております。
Okay.
でですね、このマグカップにですね、
She picks up her phone and brings it close to her cup again.
これでこのスマホを能力の影響下に置くかどうかの選択ができるようになります。
Kind of like a link in a sense. Like them touching will work. Okay.
つまりですね、私が操作しているもののそばにあるものなら一緒に存在感を操作できますよと。
Okay.
能力の起点となっているのはこのマグカップだから、スマホがマグカップから離れちゃうと能力の効果が切れちゃいますよと。
This is the reason why I think this is really important right now is because they wouldn't explain it otherwise or come up with a rule as such. Okay.
私説明下手か？
No, I can understand it. No, I did for the most part.
じゃあ続けます。で、そうやって対象を複数に広げると効果が弱くなっちゃうみたい。
Alright, was there more? No. She gathers together the stuff on the table.
1個にかけられる最大を100とすると、ここまで範囲を広げちゃうと1個あたり10くらいになっちゃうわけ。ほぼ無意味。
I get it now.
で、そもそもの大問題がですよ。
I can't remember what she said, but it was more like a big problem. The big problem is...
ニーニー、普通に見えてるよね。
Yeah. I mean, he's already had a kind of resistance against her and what she does, so...
それですよ。そもそも最大の100でも弱い。お父さんとお母さん相手なら騙せるんだけどな。ニーニーには効かないんだよな。
The girl in the hood saw right through you too, huh?
そう、それどうにかできないかなってずっと実験してるんだけど、このままじゃ私の存在意義って、
Sora flops backward onto the floor. I mean, it's not like I'm contributing much myself. Well, leaving that aside, I remember Sophie did mention something about impedance before. I guess if you have a lot of that, Sora's power won't work. I really should have asked Sophie more about it. When I had the chance. I thought it says when I have the chance. Never mind. I need to make sure to bring it up before we have to go toe to toe with those guys.
あ、そうだ。
Sora turns her back to me and hicks up her shirt. Jeez, what are you doing now?
見て見て、スティグマ。
Oh, is this stigma gone bigger? Oh yeah? I see it.
おっきくなってない？
I stare at the pattern on Sora's back. Huh. No idea.
なんだよ、わかれよ。
I mean, I only ever saw it once.
妹のことなんだから正確に記憶してよね。ニーヤン髪切っても気づかないし。
No one pays attention to hair.
わかれ、乙女心。
Sora straightens out her clothes and turns to me. How am I supposed to know anything about a womanly heart?
まあいいんですよ、そんなのは。気のせいかもだけど、なん か大きくなってるというか、広がってるというか、伸びてるというか。
We kind of already got the idea that stigmas grow or get grown, or powers grow in relation in a sense. That's why when we saw Ghost the first time, we noticed her stigma was nearly across her whole face, I think. I think it was the whole when we saw that, yeah. And also seen with Commander, he's in the same place across the face, quite large as well. So we know that if we know that powers grow when used, we know they've used their powers a lot. Which makes me think, I feel like they're not the evil eye user. Unless they've used their powers on something else except for people. I see.
成長してるってことでいいのかな?
Oh, you might be onto something there. But we should ask Sophie since... Oh, speak of the devil. Wait, huh? Oh.
Oh.
The space above the table warps. I was thinking about calling her, so I guess this saves time. But man, weird for her to show up that quick. She's already got something she wants to ask us, or maybe she's got a report to make? The plushie with a creepy smile pokes its head out of the dimension rift in my living room.
Hi, konnichiwa.
Sounds different.
Konnichiwa.
Did you learn anything about the girl in the hood?
残念ながらそっちはまだ聞きたいことがあるの。
なんすか？
新しい犠牲者って出ているかしら？
Oh right, yeah. I don't think there has been that middle schooler death yet, right? You mean the evil eyes user?
ええ、そう。
Or is this in relation to no third victim being found yet? Meaning no Kujo or the commander, in a sense. It's perfect timing that they're asking this, saying, oh, there's not been a victim yet? Or just wait till tonight.
出てないと思いますけど。
Whoops. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait. Don't tell me there have been more casualties and we just didn't know.
出たのかどうか聞いているのはこっち。調べてくれる？そのパソコンで。
Yeah, sure. I wake up, my laptop, and grab my mouse. Sora also pulls out her phone and starts typing. I pull up my browser and scroll through a few news sites. Or is this the day that they find out and they just haven't found it yet? I didn't see any reports at least.
私も見つけらんなかった。
そう、ありがとう。やっぱり完全に枝分かれしてしまっているみたいね。
枝分かれ?
Sora tilts her head. Come to think of it, you said something about branches last time too.
あら、覚えてたのね。
なに私だけ仲間外れ。何の話?
I think you said it referring to diverging possibilities. Bet it's something like parallel worlds?
珍しく察しがいいわね。そうよ、その通り。
パラレルどういう
私は様々な可能性を観測できるということよ。
ほう、様々な。じゃあ別の枝可能性では人が死んでるってこと？
There's a lot of question marks here, which is funny. It's like, Nani? Like, she's confused with herself.
そうなるわね。
Sophie descends to the table. Okay, so I don't think it's been that long. Oh, it's hard for me to, as mentioned before, because of different things happening in this timeline, it's hard to me estimate where a death should have been in a sense, you know? Because I'm not keeping track of dates and times and things like that. So I've been trying to keep track by events that have been happening. But obviously a lot of the events have changed this time around, so it's hard for me to guess. Yep, okay. So there should have been a second victim, but we avoided it. That ought to be a good thing. But for some reason, Sophie doesn't look very happy. So, okay, so that second victim, that middle schooler, did not happen. Oh, I've got some theorizing to do near the end of the episode then. Because I'm sure we can gather something from that. Is that a problem?
問題というわけじゃないけれど、かなりレアなケースなのよ。展開があまりにも違いすぎる。
Huh.
パラレルワールドって言われるとちょっとしたことで生まれちゃいそうなイメージあるけど、そういうわけでもないってことなのかな。
面倒だけど、まあいいわ。せっかくだし話してあげる。
お願いします。
This wouldn't go through her head, but okay.
確かに空の言う通り、枝は些細なことで分岐するわ。例えばそうね、あなたたちがよく行く都の喫茶店。コーラを頼んだ枝、ジンジャーエールを頼んだ枝。枝はそれぞれに分岐する。けれど、それで何かが変わると思う？
と？
どちらを飲んでもあなたは家に帰り、眠り、明日を迎える。でしょ？
Interesting. Never thought. I obviously know a lot of the Spotswood lines and time travel. There's a lot of media around that, but I never thought of it in this type of regard. In this minority, in a sense, this small of a change won't really change anything, in a sense.
まあ、そうですね。はい。
But in a sense, it would be different for, like, say, a meal or something that might affect your body or that would not have affected with the other meal type of thing. Whatever.
つまり、そんな些細な選択では大きな流れは変わらないってこと。一度は分岐したとしても、二つの枝はまた一つに統合される。デジャビューってあるでしょ？既視感。あれは枝が統合されたことによって起こる現象よ。別の枝での記憶が消えずに混在する。
Huh, interesting. I never thought of that as well. It's always nice to see different portrayals of it.
おお、なるほど、面白い。
よって平行世界なんて簡単には生まれないという結論になるわね。戦争が起こったか起こっていないか、戦争に勝ったか負けたか、そんな大きな出来事でもないと枝は完全に分岐しない。
So what you're trying to say is that this branch split off pretty far off something small, which isn't normal. What would that small thing be? I think it was to do with when we found out about the leaves of Augustia Forum. I think that was probably the main thing. Because we found that out a lot earlier than when Haruka posted her forum thing about looking for help.
ご明察。ある地点をきっかけに流れが大きく変わっているのよ。観測者としては厄介な事態ね。
私ひらめいた。わかっちゃった。ニーニでしょ。
How so? Huh?
それがニーニの能力なんじゃないの？運命をねじ曲げる。
Well, not far from what I had thought from after the first playthrough. But I mean, it's not like we technically did anything purposefully this time around, but we did on the second playthrough. We did purposely change fates in the second playthrough. That is not wrong.
残念ながら、カケルが能力を発動させた様子は一切ないわね。
Well, in this timeline, sure. Damn, And here I'd gotten my hopes up. But it is a good theory, I gotta admit.
あれ、この人もしかして私以上の役立たずなのでは？
Oh, shut up. You just had to hit me where it hurts, huh?
けれど
Oh, whoops.
枝分かれ
Sorry,
の
I
きっ
don't know
か
what
けは
happened
あな
there.
たの行動よ。別の枝では空を突
Let's
き放
jump back there.
けれ
Okay.
どかけるが中心にいるのは間違いない。
Yep. Huh?
枝分かれのきっかけはあなたの行動よ。別の枝では空を突き放したけど、こちらの枝では空の要求を受け入れた。
Okay. So that was... I was thinking that as well, that one part difference was when we first saw Haruka in the morning, surrounded by boys. That was that timeline we met up with Sora. But this timeline, we went with Sora from the house to that event. So it's a minor change that caused the whole thing to shift.
その結果、リグベーダと名乗る連中と接触し、犠牲者を一人減らした。
Huh? Wait, that's what I did? What did it? That's all it took to change the casual chain?
ええ、だから私も困惑しているの。
つまりこれは私のお手柄ってことでは？
I'm getting tired of your jokes, so can you keep quiet for a bit?
はい。
This isn't caused by an artifact, but it's enough to have you concerned. Must be something unique.
ない。けど、たまにいるのよね。やたらと大きな流れに干渉しちゃう人。得意点とでも言えばいいかしら。
From time to time, is he perhaps referring to like Iris or something like that? I'm a singularity?
そう。注意なさいと言っても無駄でしょうけど、あなたの行動は様々な事象に影響を与える。かもしれない。
It's weird typing in the Japanese, yeah.
気に留めておくことね。
A singularity, huh? I know she told me to bear it in mind, but I had no idea I possessed that power until just now. So I'm not sure what to do. Should I just, like, not do anything? No, that's just being indecisive.
いいなあ、何得意点って主人公みたい。
Well, it does feel a little nice.
いいなあ、いいなあ。
のんきな兄弟ね。まあいいわ。聞きたいことは聞けたし。じゃあね。
Interestingly enough, here the English uses the word idiots. True, but in the Japanese they say kyodai, which is more siblings. Please wait.
何？
There's something I wanted to ask you too.
手短にお願い。
It's about stigmata. Sora's is growing bigger, apparently.
大きく？
多分、おそらく微妙に。
Does that mean her powers are growing stronger?
そう解釈もできなくもないけれど。
Put it that way. Not exactly then.
うん。
Oh, whenever I hear Sophie go quiet like this, it means it's something she doesn't want to talk about and wants to dodge this subject.
あなた、どれくらいの頻度で能力を使っているの？
割と頻繁に。
だったら、遊び感覚で使うのはもうやめることね。どうなっても知らないわよ。
I had completely forgotten about the first playthrough. Kujo was overusing her powers when berserk. In one sense. Interesting. But then what about Ghost and Commander? Huh. Are they kind of already in one sense crossed lines in a sense, not thinking straight because of it?
あ、喜んでいい状況じゃないってわけですね。了解です。
Is it something bad?
さあ、まだわからない。けれどあなたたちはアーティファクトの扱い方に慣れていないでしょ？ あの男みたいになっても責任は持てないわ。
Obviously referring to the man with the fire. What man?
あなたたちの学校を燃やした男。
That wipes the smile off our faces. His power went out of control, after which he self-destructed. So that can happen to anyone. Makes sense, I guess. We've been taking this all too lightly. Forgetting that we are playing with powers we don't understand.
マジで気をつけます。
Yeah, actually, interestingly enough, she uses the word here, majite. Like, I'll seriously be careful. Like, I'll do the utmost I can to be careful.
そうしてちょうだい。それじゃ、さようなら。
Wait.
何よ、まだあるの？
I'm gonna talk about that other pragmat. No, that's whatever it is about that ghost thing. Oh, okay, never mind. We're counting on you to come through for us tonight.
夜の8時でしょ。ちゃんと覚えているわよ。じゃあね。
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. Sophie waves her tiny hand, then vanishes through her portal. We sure learned a lot, but I have no idea what to make of any of it. I'm a singularity, and our powers could go out of control. For now, no more experiments with your power.
そうします。本当は今日様子見に行きたかったなって思ってたんだけど。
Thank God we didn't. We stopped it in a sense. Absolutely not. Besides, it's not worth risking being caught again. Let's just leave this one to Sophie. I agree as well, because there's a lot of things. Obviously, the power doesn't work against Ghost, and if Ghost catches anybody, or if Commander catches anybody near that meeting, they'll instantly think Yoichi is a spy, and things go haywire. I mean, he's probably going to die regardless, but yeah.
了解っす。
Sora gives me a salute, then flops back onto the floor.
やることなくなっちゃったな。
There's been a lot of talk in this episode as well. It's like, I was expecting to end up seeing that meeting, but guess not. Or at least knowing what happened in the meeting.
8時からなんだよね。
Yeah.
やっぱり心配だよね。
Yeah, I feel you. Even if something happens, Sophie probably won't intervene. Yeah, that's what I expect.
でも様子見に行っても逆に刺激しちゃいそうだよね。
Yep, again. Tell me about it. Yoichi and Takamina are old friends, and Yoichi is a pretty smooth talker, so I don't think there'll be any problems. Still...
犠牲者がとか聞いちゃうと心配になっちゃうよね。まあ、私らにできること何にもないけどさ。
We're both pretty useless after all.
だよな。無能だもんな。あ、222。
Sora sits back up and puts her hands on the table.
じっとしてると落ち着かないし、どっか出かけようよ。あ、用事ある？
Do you seriously have no friends?
あ、なんだ急にやんのかこら。
This is gonna be Yannoka Kora. It's more like, what, do you want to go at it? Do you want to fight? You want to go at it? Huh? Type thing. Look, I'm serious here. As your brother, I'm worried about you. It's been a month since school started. Since you started school, hasn't it?
まあ、はい、そうですね。
Well, she kind of does with Kujo and Haruka in a sense. This whole time, you haven't gone to hang out with a friend, even once. You spent all your time holed up in your brother's apartment. Never once going to hang out with your friend.
おい、2回も言うな、おい。
Do you really have friends?
優しく言うなよ。いるから。ちゃんといるから。
There's actually, sorry if I'm going a bit off a tangent here, but this actually reminds me of a funny thing that appears in Danganronpa, the first game, where the main criminal, or villain of the game, says anything you say happily, but if you have a sad face with it, it'll make even that sound sad. So it made me think of this. Do you really have friends? On the other hand, if you say with a smile, do you really have friends? Like saying, oh, you really have friends? So yeah, I find that funny how you can portray it as both ways, depending on the tone. That's why I was saying, yeah, the pitying look. Pretty funny.
疑いの目で見るな。ただおとなしい子のグループに入ってるだけだから、遊びにはまだ行ってないけど、リングとかで話したりはしてるから。
Oh, that's good.
わ、これマジで心配してるやつだ。わ。
I mean, you're more sociable than I am, but you hate crowds just like I do.
そうですね。クラスのみんなで遊びに行こうぜ的なパーティーピーポーなノリは嫌いですね。はい。
Yeah, so I'm just worried you're getting left out of all the groups because of that.
大丈夫だって。そりゃクラス全員と馴染めてはいないけどさ、友達はちゃんといるから。
Good.
そもそもさ、浮くわけないじゃん。みんなほっとかないよ、こんな美少女。こんな美少女。
Huh? That's excuse me. I like the Japanese word. Yeah, it's like huh, like huh. Really?
マジトーンで威圧するのやめてもらえます？怖いし不愉快なのでやめてもらえます？
If you're that bored, do your homework.
なんだよ、出かけないのかよ。ちー。
Pouting, Sora pulls out her notebook and plops it on the table. I file away notices, census documents, and take out my own homework. She's right there, we'll probably fret about it if we're just lounging around the house all day, but there's no point in overthinking this. For now, we should just wait patiently for Sophie's report. Oh, nighttime. And honestly, I think I'm just going to jump, because I feel like this is going to go for a lot longer, of course. There's a few things I want to talk about as well, so... yeah, it's mainly just a information gathering episode in a sense, like... Okay, firstly, the big topic. There hasn't been a second petrification. This is actually pretty massive. Because the suspects we have currently, well, I have, I guess you could say, are the first two suspects I had, Yoichi and Naruse. Then we have the two new brand new suspects, Commander and Ghost. So we know the middle schooler was targeted at night. Obviously because there was nobody on that route when that happened, when it was normally packed during the day. It's a middle schooler, so not much to really gather from that. I mean, I've already gone over thinking about this first and second playthrough, so... But what new information do we have that can correlate with that? That would be... Obviously we know Commander, and we know Ghost. They might not be targeting people because they are more known this time. That could be a reason. Secondly, another thing is Yoichi in a sense. Because we know Yoichi was then planned an outing with Rigveda. So maybe if I think it could be him, then he might not have been loitering around at nights and talking to people. Anyway, regardless of that. Then last my other suspect, Naruse, we've hardly had anything to do with her this timeline at all. So, unfortunately, I'm saying unfortunate because I was thinking pretty highly of it in the first playthrough. That has dropped quite a few places down the order. I'm also going to take into account the other two victims, Kujo and the Commando. Kujo's was interesting because she was the only petrification that was destroyed. And in my opinion, that was passion involved. That was somebody who really had it out for her. Or disliked the way she was doing things. Which takes away Yoichi. After that incident, I had included Haruka, but I don't think I can include Haruka anymore. Just because we know more about her, I don't think she is the user of the evil eye, even if she has multiple artifacts. Then Commander and Ghost. Ghost, obviously, Commander was obviously turned to stone with the please look to his face, with the suicide note. To me, that is just a red herring. I really don't think he was the user of it. Yeah, no, I really don't. So, well, why hasn't Sophie told other branches about this? Or is it because it hasn't happened yet? Hey, right. Forgot about that. It hasn't happened yet in other branches, so because obviously it's not time travel, it's more like just shifting between branches. So obviously she's noticed in other branches a murder happened, she came to this branch, oh, no murder? What happened here? So it's not like the third potential murder has happened yet, which will probably be on a later date. So the only other likely suspect is Ghost then. Obviously we don't know anything about her, so we can't really say why she could have a thing against Kujo. Yeah, we just got nothing. The only likely thing is she is a person from Kujo Academy, and that can link her to the first victim. I don't know. I do definitely feel like there's something there now. Because of something that's happened in this timeline has caused somebody who the evil eye user is to not murder or not use their ability the second time. Which could either mean they've used it on something else that we have not yet found, or they've deemed it not needed. They don't need to test out their ability again. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm sure next episode we'll find something else, because hopefully if this talk when they have dinner doesn't take another episode to talk about, like this one, then hopefully I'll find out what will happen to Yoichi, because I definitely think there's something's going to happen. I'll have to find out next time. But for now, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it because the theory, trying to figure out what happened. So the talk was alright. There's still more happened in this episode as well, but I mean, we just watched it, so not much really point to recapping that. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought about it, and my theory as well would be nice to know. And I'll see you all next time.